Cool kids, what we doing? Man, we gotta put some videos out there, cool kids. We're talking about this right here. This right here, alright? Yeah, $45.99. Excuse me while I kiss the sky. So, the sweet, delicious, ooey gooey, shiny biny is getting out of reach, isn't it? And you're probably thinking to yourself, should I even be looking at this stuff, then alone buying it? Should I be selling it all right now? I wanted to give a few thoughts, not investment advice, just an enthusiasm all over the place, just everywhere. Bloop, enthusiasm. Bloop, there's some more. Ooh, did you see it? I wanted to talk about, while I flash delicious coins at you, some scrumdiddlyumptious opportunities or possible distractions you might run into right now in this phase of the cycle, the super cycle of precious metal prices. So the thing is about all of this is everything's going up except one thing, pretty much, give or take, and that's the dollar. So, do you remember back when the inflation hit in 2021? It was hardcore inflation, like really rough stuff, right? And everybody's like, well, silver's not performing. Silver's not a hedge against inflation. Because clearly, if it was, it would be going up precipitous to and in line with the current inflation we are seeing. And what people don't realize is that isn't exactly how that sort of thing works, okay? It's just my thoughts, my theories, my feelings, my fee-fees. But if you think about it, it makes sense to me. Clear as mud probably for you guys. The silver price, right, is a moving target. The dollar value is a moving target, okay? And everything else, it's all moving all the time. Blue. So you gotta look for trends and intersections and what I use is signals, right? So my signal I use is called the gold to silver ratio, right? And that is my cue to do what I got to do. So I want to talk about a couple things. First of all, what's your exit strategy for silver? A lot of people will pick a price point, and that price point is a nominal dollar amount, okay? $50 an ounce, we'll say. Okay. And they are going to set aside a certain percentage of their total stack, right? And they have decided that they're going to sell at that price point, okay? So you could, for example, say, my Austrian silver, I'm going to sell at $50 an ounce, right? But my Canadian silver is going to stay with me until we hit $51 an ounce, right? Or it could be in ounces, right? I'm going to sell 10% of my 1,000 ounces at this price. I'm going to sell 20% at a higher price, 30% at this price, on and on until finally you're just holding back the really cool stuff like this. This you're going to hold back, right? This is not, you're not selling that. This is sticking around. This one's going to the grandkids, right? You see where I'm going with this? Because 1681 is pretty cool. All right, anyway. But, you'd be happy to part with this thing because it's kind of ugly. And you might even part with this one at $49 an ounce, right? You might be pretty happy at $49 an ounce to sell that one. Or, say you got a bunch of these, you don't really care about them. Boom, off they go, all right? You're going to set it about, and boom, you're going to sell it. You're going to sell it, and you're going to sell it. Can you believe I got some of these at like under $10? I don't know why I paid $21.44 for that one. But it must have been a fairly recent purchase. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure it was. All these are, because these pages have been added recently. Yes. So, what is the point of this video? Well, you need to be watching several things right now, because I was around for the last run-up, okay? I'm not saying this one's going to be exactly the same, but I will tell you one thing. Things move fast, they move hard, okay? This is not, this is not a mamby-pamby kiss the butt time. This is, you got to be on it. You got to be ready. You got to know what you're doing, okay? All I'm saying is you got to have a plan. And your plan can be whatever plan you want. That's not my point. My point isn't what's the plan got to be. The plan is whatever you make it, but you got to have one, okay? Now this you're not going to sell for melt, because if this is ever below melt, we're in trouble. we're in trouble. That's going to be big problems for everybody. But these things are under melt, or you don't buy them. $1.35, and that's probably like $6 or $7 worth of silver right now. Probably $6 worth of silver. I'm just guessing. But you know what? Why speculate? Nope. Here we go. We'll just go to Numista. I'm not even going to bother with NGC. 1958, 10 shilling. Google 1958, 10 shilling. There's our coin. All right. Boom, that's our coin. Here we'll look again to make sure it's the right coin. All right. So you gotta have a plan, Who's even gonna buy this crap? That's my question. Who wants an Austrian shilling? I don't know. I don't know who wants one. But the melt value for this coin is 7.11. So the reason I bought it is because it was $1.35. You see the beauty of that? Yeah. So there you go. Ooh, there's some proofy goodness. What year is it? 64. Okay. So that coin, that's over a half ounce of silver there, and then there you got another third of an ounce, and then 0.14 whatever ounces, and then that crap probably isn't silver at all. Oh no, that one is. That one's silver. So you got quite a bit of silver there. How much? Ooh, you might explore that. I'm not sure it's over melt though. This one's under melt if the shipping ain't bad. Anyway, I'm gonna quit this. I'm gonna quit looking at. I ain't buying no silver. I told you guys, I ain't buying no silver. I ain't buying no dang silver right now. Y'all crazy. Although I will give you a hint. There's more silver per shilling in these coins than there is in those coins. It don't make no sense. I don't understand the exchange rate. The milk's gone bad, folks. I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know what they were smoking. Well, that ain't my problem. It's all good. It's all good. So, say you had you wanted to trade for gold, right? How many of these Maria Teresa Thalers, right, would it take to get an ounce of gold? Well, right now it's like 85 ounces to 1. So these are like 3/4 of an ounce. So, you'd have to do the math on that. I ain't doing all that. But you're going to need a lot of Maria Teresa Thalers, right? A lot of these things right here to get into that ounce of gold. But what if I told you in 2012, it got so low that you could probably take 40 of these and get an ounce of gold? Now, how long ago was 2012? Wasn't that long ago, was it? You probably remember 2012. That's how unfar long ago it was, or how very little time has elapsed. $12.50, and this thing melts over $30, I believe. Yeah, that's how you do it, guys. That's why people ask me, they say, "Why are you buying this stupid stuff?" Well, like this is numismatic. Obviously, this coin I didn't get anywhere near melt. But man, is it cool? Look at that. It's free. Free's better than. Oh man, I got that for free. Damn. All right. Anyway, check it out. 1689, right? We got Mother Mary and Baby Jesus right there on the coin. Chilling like a villain. With Leopold the Hogmouth. What's better than that? Ain't nothing better than that. That's going to the great grandkids. That ain't going. That cannot be traded. That is we're not even going to trade that one. That one's not tradable. But this one is. These Maria Teresa Thalers, these were purchased with the express purpose of trading them for gold. This kind of stuff, we can trade this for gold. Now I don't know who's going to trade with me for the gold. That's that's the big question, isn't it? How about this stuff? Let's see what we got here. This stuff here. This is from Hungary. The only reason I know that is because I see that KB there, like KB Toys. I guarantee that's undermelt. Guarantee it. Yeah, it's 0.7 ounces, so probably like $25 with silver. Just the silver in that. It's a pretty coin, though, isn't it? Pretty alluring. Let me see what we got here. 23.16 for this thing. All right. Okay, about the same deal. So this one's just under melt, just barely. But again, these coins, you didn't buy these for melt. Here's one. Same deal. 1900. Look at that. Isn't that purty? $20.40. Purty. All right. Ooh, what about something like this? Something like this. Surely can't be under melt, can it? 1878? 1878? Oh. What? $8. I wonder if that's under melt. Let's check it out. What do you think, guys? Tell me in the comments if you think this is under melt before we check it. It's I'll give you a hint. It is 90% silver. Okay? So we paid $8. $8 cash for an 1878 Florin, Austrian florins are my specialty. All right, here we go. 1648. Hold on, let's make sure it's the right coin. Does that look like our coin? I mean, mine's a little worn out, I'll admit it. Hold on. There we go. So you guys can actually see. The other picture's not working, but if it did, it would look a lot like this. Yeah. So we did okay on that. The point is, how much gold can I get with this? Well, right now, not very much. Not very much gold. But when that GSR, if it does what it has done, if that happens, we're going to be happy campers, man. Happy campers. But I can't promise you any of that's going to happen. So that's why I'm saying you got to have a plan, guys. Well, I'm telling you, the point of this video, I'm going to make it short and sweet. You have to plan ahead for eventualities that may or may not occur, and you have to know what those eventualities may or may not be. What are you missing? What don't you know? That's what you need to know. All right? So if you don't know something, you better ask somebody. All right? That's why there's a sweet thing called the Kitco Forum, which I've told you guys about many a time. It's available. All you got to do is sign up. Guys, don't mess up. Don't miss out. Get in there. Them cats are ready to answer your questions. There's people there have been stacking longer than I've been alive. True story, and that's a long time. All right, so fairly long time. I mean, I ain't Methuselah or nothing, but I've been around a minute. I've seen a few things. One or two things. I've seen silver hit $50 an ounce twice in my life. How about you guys? But what I'm saying is, what's your plan? Have a plan, Stan. And your plan could be to do nothing. Leave this all to the kids, the grandkids, the great-grandkids. But here's my question. Wouldn't it be better to leave them 20 acres of land? So you're asking, how can I do that? How can I turn this into 20 acres of land? Well, you got to play the game. So remember I was telling you, you can trade silver for gold. You can trade gold for silver. If you maximize those with that ratio, you can also check land. What's land going for compared to gold or silver or platinum? Anything. It doesn't have to be a precious metal. It can be any commodity, anything. All this stuff. What makes this different than that dollar in your pocket is it has intrinsic value. This amount of silver right here, 0.0617. So it's about the same amount of silver as a Canadian dime. This amount of silver has an intrinsic value. All right? And that intrinsic value is going to shift in nominal dollars. But the value itself doesn't shift. It's that many molecules of silver. Okay? Now, what can shift is how much people desire those ounces of silver. But one thing is always clear. Someone is going to desire your silver molecules, right? That's the secret sauce. That's what you got to understand. That's why when you're buying this stuff, under melt in 2010, and now you're like, ooh, right? Now it's way under melt. Well, guess what? That was the plan, Stan. That's why you dollar cost averaged all these years. That's why you took the time. And if you're just starting out, right? You could be just starting out. And you could do the same thing. And over time, you're still gonna come out okay. All right. I paid $15 for this damn thing. Why the hell would I pay $15 for this? I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still... What's the melt value? We just looked it up. Come on, Betsy. Come on, Betsy. Hey. You better knock it off, Betsy. I'm about to get mad. Oh, it's still under melt. There it is. That's still under melt. Man. Why would I pay that much for one of these? When I can get them, Well, I must have really liked that one. Must have been fairly recent. That's okay, though. It's still under melt, so we did okay. All right, cool kids. Look, I've gone on long enough. I'm rambling at this point, but I'm saying you could trade silver for gold, gold for land, right? Once as the ratio shifts, right? So, you're checking real estate crashes all of a sudden. Well, cash, though, let's say cash loses its value. We have a big old hyperinflation, right? Well, if you were in silver and you went to gold or whatever, because the GSR flipped, well, now you can take that gold, wait for it to come back up. Land comes down, play the ratios. And you'll maximize. Now, you're not going to know the absolute bottom and the absolute top. The ratio is just a signal for you to be watching and biding your time and looking for that opportunity. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Again, this isn't investment advice, but I do want you to be informed, and I want you to have a plan. How many ounces are you going to sell? When are you going to sell? Are you going to sell? Are you going to trade? What do you want to end up with at the end of the tunnel? Where do you want this to lead you? Do you want Federal Reserve notes? Or do you want tangible assets? That is the question. That is why I want to tell me in the comments if you feel like it. Or if you have a question, please, I'm happy to have Franz Josef help you guys out. Yep. So he might respond. I'm just saying he might respond in the comments. I don't know how or why, but I will channel my inner Franz Josef, okay, when I talk to you guys. All right? Guys, have a resplendent day, and thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe, all that jive, and bye.